So when I was 15, I wanted to go to homecoming, but we didn't have a whole lot of money. And so I needed to come up with something to wear. I ended up making my homecoming dress that year. And my mom helped me. She really tried to teach me things, and I sat and I watched her sew a lot of it. But then as soon as she made that, I started playing around with the sewing machine. And then I just started making things. Outside of being a designer, I'm also a mom. I work for Omaha Fashion Week. I'm the designer coordinator. It's trying to remodel. We just bought a house. I'm trying to plan a wedding now. Got proposed to at my last show, so now I get to plan a wedding for next December. It's super awesome. Every collection needs to evoke a feeling about it. When you present it, you feel something. The feeling will vary and change. You know, I've done collections where it was based on a memory of a person and how that memory starts to become less colorful and it fades into like black and white. I've done lines where I was like seeing a change in a woman, seeing how she starts off as somebody who is following in everybody else's footsteps and suddenly realizes that she is her own person. She's like a goddess, you know? It's different always. That feeling is different. So originally I wasn't going to do a collection this season. I had no intentions of doing that, and I sat there and I was sitting one night and it just hit me that I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll just do a small, you know, like 6 looks collection and keep it really simple. And then I ended up not keeping it simple at all, and I started off as this concept that I wanted to do things that were all very organic, and it ended up turning into looking at a lot of NASA images. So we start off looking up from the ground. We get a photo of like the aurora borealis, and then it moves along and we're looking down at Earth at a phytoplankton bloom. And then we move outward and we're looking at our solar system, and there's like an image of Mercury, and it's a really awesome image. And then we just keep moving outward from there, and we're seeing like nebula and giant gas clouds. And then we get that really great image, the deep space image, where it's every single speck of light that is in this image is a galaxy, and there's thousands of them in this one image. So we start off at this very small level that's here that we can grasp, and then we're getting bigger, and then we're getting bigger and bigger and growing and going further and further and further away, and then like there's so much out there to see, there's so much out there to explore. So that is the reasoning behind the order.
Why do I do all this? Masochist. Even though you just spent 2 months making things, and it walks out on a runway for 2 minutes and it's done. Like, there's sort of gratification that comes out of that is hard to explain.
I'm trying to make something that's more commercial this year. I'm trying to make everything so that it's ready to sell right off of the model. Like, ultimate goals is to be able to do small production runs of my pieces now, like 5 of this dress, and then, you know, in this size or whatever, and then I can sell those, and then that's all I'm making of that one. I have to make money at this. I spend a lot of money every year making a collection, into the thousands of dollars, and that's a really expensive piece of something to take up space in your home and not sell. And so I just had to sit and look at these things if I don't sell them, and I kind of hate that. And so I think that the goal is that I can sell it, let it go out into the world, and not have it sitting in my home, taking up space in my home. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't think about design. I think about it every single day, and it affects my life every single day. From how I dress myself, how I do my makeup, how I organize my home, how I raise my 2 stepsons, how I'm a partner to my fiance, and how I best serve my community of designers. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about every single one of those things.
show that Dan and I had been talking about for a long time. We wanted to do our own show and kind of take it a little bit above what we had accomplished with Omaha Fashion Week, because we felt like we had kind of run our course with Fashion Week. You know, we needed to learn something, gain some knowledge, and push ourselves further. And so that was kind of the idea, that's the premise behind wanting to do a separate show.
I wanted to do a show that, you know, have complete creative control over everything from the moment you walk in the door.
We're doing our own background, our own centerpiece, our own runway setup.
Because normally the environment's really kind of sterile. It's like you're in a museum looking at a painting, and you have to like make that effort to go into the painting, whereas I'm trying to take that barrier away, of the environmental barrier, and like actually put you inside the painting so you can actually experience it.
We're turning the entire thing black. The tent itself is white. All of the shows through the whole week, you know, everything is very clean, white, crisp. Dan and I's show, everything is dark. When you walk into the space, we want you to feel like you walked into an empty space. You cannot see the edges. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone from what you have expected in Fashion Week. You are supposed to kind of almost feel uneasy.
Hoping it to be like a fashion experience, like a actual, more of a fashion performance, where you are kind of seeing the clothes in their natural environment, which is out of my imagination.
It pushes Omaha's fashion scene forward. We didn't hold back at all on this. And so if we were concerned about how somebody was going to feel about it, we didn't care. We did it anyway.
What got me interested in fashion is seeing shows like this.
Vessel has a lot of different meanings. It can be in relation to like a blood vessel. It can be in relation to something that would be very ceremonial. It's something to carry forward. This is us carrying forward.